microaggressions, racism, colorism, and I'm just hyping them up.
Chief is
going to
kinda
be called healer. Now, before we get
the better eat doctor, like eat in the literal sense. So today we're reacting to Tribal Leader ex-doctor racism final boss. I read it, so you don't have to. So okay, well that's a super interesting title. Not gonna lie, I'm kinda scared of what I'm about to see. Let's start the video. I'm scared.
And when he wakes up, he's surrounded by tribal people. Now, his first thoughts are, why are they all African? What do you mean, why are they all African? You're in Africa, you're gonna see Africans. Who are you expecting to see?
In a way, it's starting off so strong. Oh my lord, oh lord, I'm scared.
Hi babies, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be going over another problematic BL. Now this story is from China, so I'm pretty sure it's a manhua. I don't know how to pronounce it, but somebody literally emailed me this story and was like, Nori, please go over this story. This is overly problematic and nobody's talking about it. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. Now this story has so many issues with it, but the story falls under the trope that there's going to be a darker skinned person who's portrayed as barbaric, uncivilized, angry. And there's going to be a pale person who is obviously portrayed as the soft-spoken, the savior. If you are new to my channel, I dislike this trope so much, and this is exactly why I dislike.
Well, guess what? I'm new.
Like this trope, because people start feeling comfortable making stories like the one we're going to be reading today, which has a lot of microaggressions, racism, colorism, and I'm just.
This manhwa has every single cliche in the book. Ooh.
My head hurts from thinking about it, but we're just going to get into the story. There's going to be 4 renames for the story. One's going to be called Doctor, one's going to be called Chief, the third one's going to be called Ponytail, and the fourth one is going to be called Healer. Now, before we get into the plot of the story, I do want to highlight one of the warnings that was put in one of the chapters, which reads, before you start your nonsense about racism and racist stereotypes and the art styles and issues with your color, we see everyone as equals. If you find this offensive, leave and read something else. Okay, so if we see racist or stereotypical stuff, we're just going to ignore it because that's just okay. That's just okay. Okay, so the story starts with Doctor explaining that he is a doctor aide who was forced into working overseas. It looks like he was stationed in Africa, so he has a tour guide taking him to the place where all the other doctors are. And while he's on his way walking there, he says that he has to use the bathroom, so he breaks up from his tour guide to go use the bathroom. Now, unfortunately, while he's using the bathroom, he ends up falling off of a cliff, and when he wakes up, he's surrounded by tribal people. Now, his first thoughts are, why are they all African? What do you mean, why are they all
that's the clip from earlier.
African? You're in Africa, you're gonna see Africans. Who are you expecting to see? If you thought that was bad, now all of the tribal people just start saying Wakanda while doing this. Now, I'm kind of ignorant. I don't know much about the African language. Please,
the African language? Girl, you're trolling.
Educate me if this is actual.
Girl, please, you trolling. Tell me you're trolling.
All say Wakanda. And then this will be our first look at Chief, because Chief walks in the room and they do end up taking Doctor back to their village. Now, back at their village, they're having this important healing ceremony where they are healing this little boy using herbs and water. And Doctor, he has a problem with this. So he stops the ceremony. He gets in the way between the ceremony and is like, you guys should not be using this. And you're not supposed to be interrupting this important ceremony. So Chief grabs him, and then Doctor goes on a whole spiel calling Chief a barbarian, jackass. He starts calling everybody in the village barbarian, uncivilized, and saying that the Chief needs to apologize to him, even though he is the one that just interrupted their ceremony. Right? So now the tour guide that was touring him before he found Doctor, and the tour guide speaks the language that the tribe speaks. So he tells the tribe that Doctor is sorry and apologizes to Doctor. And then the tour guide tells Doctor that he needs to be careful because this tribe eats people. So now Doctor is scared. Now he got put in his place, and now he doesn't want to speak badly to these
not the cannibalism. No, guys, come on.
Tribal people. So the Chief accepts the apology that the tour guide gave for Doctor, and it's like, we'll forgive your apology, but now since the Doctor interrupted the healing ceremony for the little boy, now the Doctor has to find a way to heal the little boy in 3 days, or we're going to eat him. Doctor has 3 days to heal the little boy since he interrupted their ceremony, or he's gone. Which I have no problem with that, because why would you interrupt something that you don't even know what's going on, and then you're getting attitude with everybody else when you're the one that just interrupted them? Okay, so they basically locked up Doctor, and he's staying in this like little shack for 3 days. That's where he's gonna be staying locked up. Now this will be our first look at Ponytails. Ponytails is a little girl, and she comes and serves Doctor some food, but Doctor is stubborn, so he doesn't take the food from the little girl, and he just lets the little girl eat it. Now Chief was watching this whole interaction, so later Chief comes back and he makes food and he shares with Doctor. So Doctor has something to eat now. And at night, Doctor is trying to like plan his escape. He wants to plan his escape at night while everybody is asleep, but the Chief ends up coming in the room with Doctor, and they end up sleeping in the same room together.
Good.
Now this is another weird thing that they say, but during at night, the bugs are eating up Doctor. He's not used to the heat, the bugs. And when Doctor looks over, we see the bugs are trying
I'm scared. What's gonna happen?
to get blood from Chief, but the bugs can't penetrate Chief's skin because his skin is too tough. And on another day, while Doctor is trying to shower, the tribal people are looking at his skin, calling him pale, and then they're saying that his skin is more softer because he has pale skin, and that his skin is probably softer than the other
tribal woman.
And then the Doctor starts posing because they're hyping him up.
No. What is this, Manhua? That's not a BL. Where did she even find this BL? No.
And after he's done showering, Ponytail tries to come and give him clothes. Doctor sees that the clothes that Ponytail is trying to give him is tribal clothes, and he makes a disgusted face and it's like, I don't want to wear this type of clothes. I need real clothes.
Okay, well, stay naked then.
So he goes and throws a fit, but Chief comes and gives him like a more upgraded piece of clothing, and then when Doctor puts it on, it turns out that the clothing that Chief gave him is actually the women clothes, the women tribal clothes. And Doctor puts on back his clothes that he was wearing. He puts the clothes back on that he was wearing. And one night while they're having this little campfire party thing, Doctor was just complaining how he doesn't understand how people can live like this. He's basically just complaining. He's been complaining the whole time, but he's complaining again. And while he's complaining, Ponytail comes back up to him and gives him more food. And he actually eats it this time, and then Ponytail takes him to like the party spot where everybody was partying, and he starts dancing. And he kind of gets into it after he just was complaining how he couldn't get into it. And after he's done dancing, he sits back down, and the little boy that he's supposed to heal comes up to him and starts playing with him, and he starts interacting more with the little boy. And while he's playing with the boy, his mother comes and takes him away. But the next day, when Doctor goes to explore the village, he sees that the little boy that he was just playing with last night that he was supposed to heal, his condition just got so much worse. He has red dots all over him. So he goes to find the Chief to tell the Chief that the little boy is actually infected with this like RC flu, which is actually very contagious. So everybody needs to like lock down and not be by each other. And while Doctor is telling Chief this, the healer comes in and she's like, actually that little boy that you were supposed to heal just passed away. So you failed your
Oh my god, no. Poor the little kid. Oh, that's so sad. I think they better eat Doctor, like eat in the literal sense.
The Doctor has to find a way to heal the little boy in 3 days, or we're going to eat him.
Oh boy, you're not gonna survive this
task. Like he just was like alive and kicking, but that flu got to him. Basically, Doctor gets mad that the tribe does not trust him and says that he doesn't care about anybody anymore in this tribe, or like if they get affected or whatnot. So Ponytail helps him escapes and he tries leaving. And while he's leaving, another group of doctors pull up. Basically, they take Doctor away from the village back to their like doctor's headquarters in like another place in Africa. And the Doctor explains why the people really don't care that much about the sickness, because the only thing the villagers are worried about are their gods, and they put everything up to their gods. And now Doctor understands why they don't really care so much about medicine, even though the villagers have been telling him the whole time why. So it's just kind of weird because the tribal people were already telling him why they didn't care, but he was not listening. But it took another person to tell him for him to understand why they don't really care. But the flu is getting to a lot of villagers, so now the Chief decides to let the doctors help them. So the doctors have been taking like patients one by one out the village to go cure them and see what's wrong. And since Doctor is working at this like huge doctor base, he does see some of the villagers. And one day when he was working, Chief requested that the doctor helps him by himself in a room. And that's pretty much where it ends off, where I'm reading it, because it's only 15 chapters out. Now, there's a lot of...
That's a lot. Imagine reading 15 chapters of BS.
lot of problems with this story. I feel
too
like
much for me.
I'm not gonna get too heavy into it. Like the ignorant remarks that the main character, the doctor, is making, I feel like some of the remarks were just not needed. And there was multiple times the author were putting warnings that felt very condescending, just saying like, because the one warning that I read in the beginning was not the only warning that the author put. There was multiple saying like, if you don't like the fact that we're saying weird stuff and not true stuff about people, don't read it. There was one warning where they put that they know that they're making the background characters of the tribe ugly. They're doing that on purpose, but they don't want to fix it. It was very weird to me because the features that they're putting on the background tribal people is very exaggerated and weird, but Chief's face just looks like any normal like Manhua character, but it's like over exaggerated for the other black people, which is just like, if you don't see the issues, that's fine. But again, I don't like this story, and I don't like how the author is very condescending about the fact that they know that what they're doing is wrong. But this is not just a problem with this story. There's multiple manhwas, mangas, etc. that have like this weird colorism thing where the darker person has to be this barbaric, angry, need help person, and the pale person is always coming to play savior and can do no wrong and so soft spoken. It's just a problem within the community. But I'm gonna leave that at here and just stop the video here.
No, I swear on my life, this is 100% rage bait.
I don't like this story. Thank you for somebody bringing this to my attention, because I think this is actually the worst one that where they didn't even try to hide the fact that they're being weird about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
That was crazy though. You guys didn't hear, but like, I was a little bit laughing. I was laughing during the video, and I kind of feel bad about it because it's just that you can't make this up. There's no way this is a BL, and also there's no way it ends well. Who actually read this before? Like, I'm really curious. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video.